this is a funny one, and this is probably going to be the most technical part of what we're talking about here, because we'll just talk about straight specs. The micro SD card that you have in your Switch right now most likely is a standard micro SD card. There may be all kinds of nomenclature on there because the websites that sell this have like oh, it's a micro SD video. Oh, it's a micro SD Pokemon. It's a micro SD industrial. All of those things are basically micro SD cards, especially if it's above 1 terabyte, because micro SD Express, the new standard that Nintendo will be using, they literally just came out with a 1 terabyte. That is the largest you can get on the market right now. And the last time I checked, it was $200 for a 1 terabyte micro SD Express. The
that
micro,
tracks.
yeah. So if you're just, and again, storage can be all over the place as far as pricing. So I'm going to throw out a number, and it may be inaccurate by the time I say it. Right now, it's 110 for 1 terabytes of regular micro SD. Different versions of that. I've seen some for 84 on sale that are currently sold out. Seen some for a little bit more. That's just a general figure I'm throwing out. 180 for a 2 terabyte, which is the maximum size that you can put into a Nintendo Switch right now. That's the maximum that the actual system will read. It reads at 100 megabytes a second and writes at 90 megabytes per second. That means nothing except for the fact that the micro SD Express reads at 6 times that amount and writes at 10 times that amount. I mean, it is a much faster chip, but the chip itself is not really that big of a difference. They're probably going to use it for storage of the games. I don't think this will affect much. It's going to be a lot more expensive. It will be considerably faster when you're moving your game storage back and forth between your card, but this one's not going to be a huge issue. But literally, let me bring up the article from Engadget here if it'll let me.
You're not going to pull all that 6 times speed either on your console, not when you're playing a game.
Right. It's not like the PlayStation, which uses an NVMe drive that is, and not even all NVMe drives. You have to get one that's fast enough to actually be PlayStation certified. That one will actually affect the load speeds of your game. Whereas this is for save files in game storage. It'll still have to be transferred over to the system memory before you can play it. And like literally, they just came up with the 1 terabyte one, even though the Nintendo Switch 2 is graded for up to 2 terabytes. So this is a small one. So don't expect your micro SD card to work in your Nintendo Switch 2. Should you get one, which a lot of the sentiment I'm hearing is people aren't going to get it.
It's about speed and transfer rates and how fast it's going to move files when you're downloading. And I mean, I can't, maybe they did this because of hitching, but I highly doubt it because there's no, look, these games are going to be in 1080p. You might get a couple of them that might push beyond that when it's docked, but it's still going to be outputting, and it says it'll be outputting in 4K. I don't see it reading anything that quick. I mean, yeah, you've got like Cyberpunk. I brought that up earlier, Cyberpunk 2077. But even that, I can't see it reading those games that quick. What is it going to be used for? Will it be more convenient? Might download faster, but maybe it'll prevent a little bit of hitching, but I don't see it being a huge game changer.
I don't.
I spent $100 on a little Legend of Zelda 1.5 terabyte for my first Switch. I should be able to pop that out, format it, put it in the Switch 2 and use it. They're not going to let you do that though. They want you to go to the more expensive option. And they
I agree.
It's bizarre. Want you to use the best stuff in their console.
Well, I mean, it's all going to come down to throughput. I mean, read write is what we were talking about and touching on, and that's the truth. But the problem is there's many different throttle points that will that will just start to funnel information. Every time you hit one of those points, every time you hit a challenge to throughput, that transfer rate isn't going to mean jack all. So, it's your console's only as fast as its slowest component.